Assalamu alaikum everyone. As you know, this is Muhammad Hussain Siddiqui, your English language trainer from the Linguistic channel. Today we'll be talking about some really important rules of all 12 tenses, and inshallah in my next video I will tell you about all 12 tenses and how you can learn all of them in just less than an hour. Let's begin. The first tense we have got here is present simple tense. You all know a definition, which is that happens gradually, habitually, or naturally. To keep it simple, we will have a two-word definition, which is that happens. So whatever happens, whenever happens, however happens. When you talk about something that happens, you use present simple tense. Let's talk about it in Urdu or in Hindi. So it's going to be जो होता है. अब जो कभी भी होता है, कहीं भी होता है, कैसे भी होता है, for that tense we use present simple tense. So this is a two-word definition of it. What are the helping verbs of this tense? Helping verbs for this tense are do and does, right? So we use do and does when we want to make their negative or interrogative. More, what is the addition that we do with the verb? You must know about pronouns. There are three different kinds of pronouns when it comes to subjective, objective, and possessive. So when you use third person singular as a subject, what you do is you use or you add s, es, ies in verb. So जब भी आप थर्ड पर्सन सिंगुलर के साथ सेंटेंस बनाएंगे, थर्ड पर्सन सिंगुलर क्या होते हैं? He, she, it, or any singular name. So you are going to use ses and ies in the verb. Now the question arises that in which verb we would add s, with which we would use es, and in which we would use ies. For that you need to go to my next video about tenses, and then you will come to know about it. Alright? Okay, the next thing is, when we use the helping verbs do and does, what we do is we remove the addition of ses and ies from the verb. For example, if your sentence was she cooks food, so when you're going to make its negative, so it's going to be she does not cook food. अब यहाँ पे कुक में जो एस का एडिशन था वो जो हट गया है, वो क्यों हट गया है? क्योंकि वी हैव ऑलरेडी एडेड ई एस विद डू. अब डू एक हेल्पिंग वर्ब है, बट स्टिल इट इज़ ए काइंड ऑफ वर्ब, राइट? सो दिस इज़ वाई जब हम एक वर्ब के अंदर एडिशन कर देंगे, वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू यूज़ एनीथिंग एल्स इन द नेक्स्ट वर्ब. द सेम थिंग गोज व्हेन वी फॉर्म एन इंटेरोगेशन. So it's going to be does she cook food and a question mark. What do we have next is called past simple tense. So what is the definition of past simple tense? Like we had the definition with present simple, we are going to have a two-word definition with this as well. That happened means जो काम हुआ था, अब कभी भी हुआ था, whenever it happened, however it happened, you are going to use past simple tense. And there is another way we use past simple tense when we talk about that used to happen, which means जो आपकी पास की hobbies थी, जो आप किया करते थे. What are the helping verbs of this? It's just a helping verb, which is did, right? And when you form a negative or interrogative, So what you do, you use did and remove the second form from the verb, so it will be the first form. Let's take an example. Suppose you say मैं market गया था. So you say I went to market. When you're going to form a negative, so you're going to do what? I did not go to market. And if you form an interrogative, it's going to be did I go to market, right? So why have we removed the addition, or why have we removed the second form of the verb? Is because we have used did, which is the second form of do. Moving on, we have got another tense, which is a future simple tense, right? Again, a two-word definition. It's going to be three-word actually, so it will be that will happen. In Urdu, if you say, it's going to be jo hoga. Of whatever will happen, that is future simple tense. Jo bhi hoga, kabhi bhi hoga, you are going to use future simple tense with that. The helping verb is will, and the verb form is the first form. So how are you going to form a sentence? Let's take an example. She will cook food, right? In negative, as you know the rule, we use not with the helping verb, so it's going to be she will not cook food. Interrogative, will she cook food? Remember, the rule of making an interrogative is that we bring the helping verb first and then it will be an interrogative. Next we have here is present continuous tense. What is the definition of present continuous? We can understand from its name. जैसे कि इसका नाम present continuous है. So what is the meaning of present? Present means right now, अभी, हाल. Continuous means jari, जो काम जारी हो. So whatever is happening is a present continuous tense and will be used in present continuous tense. Remember, in all continuous tenses, we use verbs ing forms. For example, if it is present continuous, past continuous, future continuous, or all other perfect continuous. With all of them, we are going to use verbs ing form or present participle, or we also call it gerund, right? तो हम verb की ing form use करेंगे present continuous tense में. Next, the helping verbs. Helping verbs for present continuous are is am, are, right? अच्छा, we can use present continuous tense in future as well. If you do not know about it, you can go to my video which is about present continuous in future tense and learn how to use present continuous tense in future. So let's take an example. As I said, we are going to use verbs ing form. So suppose if I'm saying I am writing right now, so I am writing now, right? And if I'm going to form a negative, so suppose with she, so she is not, which can be isn't as short form, writing now. And an interrogative, it's going to be is she writing now. Moving on to the next part, which is a past continuous tense. So what is the definition of past continuous tense? जो काम हो रहा था. Past means in the past. Continuous means continue. So that was happening. Now, whatever was happening is a past continuous tense. अब जो काम कभी भी हो रहा था उसके लिए हम past continuous tense का इस्तेमाल करते हैं. Helping verbs for this are was and were, right? Was with I, he, she, it. Were with the rest of the subjects like they, we, you. So let's take an example. If I say तुम मेरी वीडियो देख रहे थे, so what I'm going to say is you. What helping verb are we going to use with it is, yes, were watching my video, right? Next, in negative, it's going to be you, yeah, were not. Some people call it weren't, which is absolutely wrong. So it is either were not or weren't, right? Watching my video. And interrogative, as the rule we follow, is were you watching my video with a question mark. Perfect. Now if we talk about future continuous, as we all know the rule that with all continuous tense we are going to use verbs ing form. So as you can see, with past continuous हमने ing form use किया, with present continuous हमने ing form use किया. So guys, what do you think? Which form do we use with future continuous? Yes, verbs ing form. The definition is that will be happening. So in Urdu it's going to be जो काम हो रहा था. अब जो भी हो रहा था is a future continuous tense. I'm really sorry. It's going to be जो काम हो रहा होगा. अब जो भी हो रहा होगा is a future continuous tense. The helping verbs, it's not verbs, it's just a verb. So it is will be. And let's go for an example. Suppose आप ये कह रहे हैं कि मैं कल इस टाइम खाना खा रहा हूँगा, तो I will be eating food at this time, right? I hope it's really clear with you guys. And the negative is going to be I will not. The short form is won't be eating food. Interrogative, will I be eating food? I hope this is much clear with you guys. Moving on to the other part, which is about perfect tenses. So before I teach you perfect tenses, you need to understand the rule of making a perfect tense. In all perfect tenses, either it is present, past, or future, we use verbs third form, which is also called past participle. Let's go for the definition of present perfect tense. It is that has happened. In Urdu or Hindi, it's going to be जो काम हो चुका है. अब जो भी हो चुका है, when you talk about that, you use what tense? Yes, present perfect tense. Acha, people are confused with the difference between a past simple tense and present perfect tense. So keeping it really easy, let me tell you the difference as well right now. Suppose you see जो भी मैंने लिखा हुआ है, it's already in front of you. Now if I remove it, so it's going to be in past simple tense, right? क्योंकि अब जो मैंने लिखा था उसके effects मौजूद नहीं है, तो it is now in past simple tense. But now when it is back, तो अब मैं क्या बोलूँगा? I have written it. ठीक है, क्योंकि ये अभी तक लिखा हुआ है. And if I remove this like this, so it's going to be मैंने लिखा था, so it's going to be a past simple tense. Perfect? Great. Now the helping verb for present perfect tense are has, be, has, and have, right? So now let's form a sentence. Suppose you say that कि तुम present simple समझ चुके हो. So how would you say that? You have understood. As we know, with all perfect tenses we use verbs third form. So it's going to be you have understood the lesson. In negative, you have not understood the lesson. And when it comes to an interrogative, it's going to be, have you understood the lesson? With a question mark. Don't forget to write a question mark because it is a really important part of the punctuation when it comes to an interrogation. Moving on to a past perfect tense. Let's understand the definition first. That had happened. जो हो चुका था और उसके असरात मौजूद रहे और वो ख़त्म हो गए means it has nothing to do with the present or current situation, right? तो जो भी हो चुका था, हो गया था, in Urdu like we say मैं खाना खा चुका था, so we use past perfect tense for that. It has a conjunction with past simple tense, like it is sometimes used with a past simple tense as well, like तुम्हारे आने से पहले मैं खाना खा चुका था. I will tell you how it is used, but before that हम जाते हैं helping verb की तरफ, and the helping verb is had, and I want you guys to tell me which form are we going to use with this. Yes, verb's third form. Great. So let's take an example with the conjunction, right? I have already made a video about conjunctions, that what is a conjunction and how to use it, how it does combine or join two or more sentences, so you can learn them from there. So let's take an example. Suppose if you want to say कि मैं तुम्हारे आने से पहले खाना खा चुका था, so you would say I had taken or eaten, you can say, food before you came. So now you see here we have a past simple tense, you came. Before is a conjunction, and this is a past perfect tense. I hope you're very much clear with that. In negative, it's going to be I had not taken food before you came, right? And in interrogative, it's going to be had you eaten or taken food, right? Perfect. Now let's go for a future perfect tense. The definition, that will have happened. In Urdu or in Hindi, we say जो काम हो चुका होगा. अब वो कभी भी हो चुका होगा. You're going to use present perfect tense with that. The helping verb, you know what is that? You can see in the above example that is will have. The verb form, I have already told you we are going to use verb third form, which is a past participle. So let's take an example. Suppose you say मैं अपना BBA या bachelor's complete कर चुका हूँगा 2022 तक. In English, how would you say? I will have completed, yes, the verb third form, my BBA by 2022 or 2021. In negative, it's going to be I will not have completed my BBA by 2021. And in interrogative, it's going to be will I have completed my BBA by 2021. So what is the meaning of this? I will have completed, मैं कर चुका हूँगा. I will not have, मैं नहीं कर चुका हूँगा. Will I have, क्या मैं complete कर चुका हूँगा. Perfect. Moving on to the other part, which is about perfect continuous tenses. Prior to that, I would like to teach you about since and for. A lot of people use them wrong. Let me tell you how they are used. So, when it comes to since, where is it used? It is used when we talk about beginning of time. जब हम डायरेक्ट शुरुआत के वक्त की बात करते हैं तो हम since यूज़ करते हैं. For example, if I want to say सुबह से, तो I'm going to say since morning. Or if I want to say 2019 से, so I would say since 2019 or 2019. If I want to say 2 baje se, so you're going to use since 2 o'clock, right? A lot of people make a mistake and they use it like since 2 hours. So my friends, we do not use since for 2 hours, right? We use for that. How? Let's say it is used when we talk about counted time. For example, जो काम जैसे कि आपने अगर कोई वक्त गिन के किसी को बताया है तो उसके लिए आप फोर यूज़ करेंगे. जैसे कि आपने बोला सिंस मॉर्निंग, तो सुबह से लेकर अब तक सपोज़ 6 घंटे हो चुके हैं, तो अगर आप सुबह से बोलेंगे तो यू विल यूज़ सिंस, और अगर आप 6 घंटे बोलेंगे तो यू विल यूज़ फोर, लाइक फॉर 6 hours, or you would say for 1 year, or you would say for 3 months, and so on. I hope and expect that you have understood where do we use since and where do we use for. Now, let's go ahead and learn present perfect continuous tense. Guys, there is no much difference in present continuous and in present perfect continuous tense. Just a little difference, that is like present perfect continuous, it's a bit more polite, and it is when we talk about time durations as well. Okay, so the definition is that started in past and is still going on, right? And we mostly mention time with it. वैसे it's not important कि since और for के बगैर आपका sentence complete नहीं है. Your sentence is still complete even if you do not use since and for, right? The helping verbs are, has, or have been. We use has with he, she, it in singular noun, and have with I, we, you, they. So let's go for an example. Suppose if you want to say that you have been watching my video for 20 minutes, right? So how would you say that? I have been watching your video for 20 minutes. You see, मैंने यहाँ पे for क्यों use किया है is because I'm talking about a counted time here. लेकिन अगर मैं कहूँ कि तुम 4 बजे से मेरी वीडियो नहीं देख रहे, तो I'm going to say you have not been watching my video since 4 o'clock. Next, if I'm going to form an interrogative, so it's going to be have you been watching my video for 20 minutes? Perfect, you got it. Next we have got here, which is a past perfect continuous, right? The definition of past perfect continuous is just like past continuous, right? That had been going on, like जो भी काम हो रहा था और एक वक्त तक चला. ठीक है, इसके अंदर भी हम टाइम मेंशन करते हैं. So the helping verbs are, or it is, had been. Now, what form are we going to use verb with it? Yes, हम कौन सी form इसमें use करेंगे verb की? Since we all know with all continuous tenses we use verbs ing form, so we are going to use with it as well the verbs ing form. Okay, so let's form an example. Suppose अगर आप कहना चाह रहे हैं किसी को कि मैं तुम्हारा इंतज़ार वहाँ पे आधे घंटे से कर रहा था, तो how would you say I had been, or if you want to say कि मैं 3 बजे से तुम्हारा इंतज़ार कर रहा था, तो you're going to say I had been waiting for you for 3 hours. In negative it's going to be I had not been waiting for you for 3 hours. And interrogative it's going to be had you been waiting, or had I been, you can say I been waiting for you for 3 hours, right? And don't forget to write a question mark, right? Acha, Future perfect continuous is actually not taught anymore, because we already have future continuous for that, right? So it is a thing like, it's being obsolete, right? It's not used anymore as well, not that frequently as we use other tenses, right? So it is not taught the way, right? And I hope you have clearly understood the lesson of the day, and you have all the understanding. If you have any question, you can write that in the comments below so that I can read and let you know the answers, right? For more videos, don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel, the Linguistic Channel. Thank you so much for watching. Allah Hafiz.
For more videos, please subscribe our YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon.